innovative, risk-takers, anti-establishment. She was born in Canada. He was born in France. They are the most exciting ice dancers in the world. They are, of course, the Duchesnays, Isabelle and Paul. Right now, it's time for the original set pattern in ice dancing, and once again, here's Ted.
Here are Paul and Isabelle Duchesnay, bronze in the Europeans in Leningrad, world bronze last year. Certainly the most talked about dance couple here. Canadians who skate for France, they're third here after the compulsory dance.
They've got the best of both worlds. They're at home when they're in France, and they're at home when they're in Canada.
Criticism that has been circulated from many of their detractors, and they are both popular and unpopular in this competition, is the fact that the OSP has a great deal of two-foot skating. And that's something that I particularly wanted to see. I was watching the Soviet couple, Usova-Zhulin, which are directly in front of them, to see whether, in fact, this is really better.
Soviet teams is that they skate quite far apart, and quite often they will skate by themselves. They won't actually be in a dance position, and that is what has caused them a lot of trouble with the judges.
Well, this is one particular discipline that the rules and the illegalities are very difficult for a general spectator to pick up on.
Here is what you were mentioning with a little bit of the two-foot skating. But what they go for is that body rhythm and the crowd appeal, and that works.
Right there is a great deal of skating where they are completely not in touch with one another, and I now see what it is that many people were criticizing us about. You see, he's not really touching it. Well, there he grabs her again. I think I feel a lot more comfortable sitting in a commentator's seat than sitting in I would if I were sitting in a judge's seat, because again, there you see that there's very little skating where they're actually together.
Yeah, the judges have to play the bad guys.
The performance level is very, very high, and certainly great crowd favorites here. The audience is standing up, but if the marks are low, and I'm not sure that they will be, I think I do understand what the problem is.
Well, they perform their hearts out, and I don't think they can do it any better than that. Let's wait and see what happens.
The sign there says, "Take guts." That's somebody challenging the judges. Well, here they do it again. We saw it happen in Prague. We saw it happen in Paris. We've seen it happen. We saw it happen in Calgary, really. And then in Leningrad just a month ago. And here we are in Halifax. It's another standing ovation. Now remember, the judges are not standing up and giving ovations. And remember that they gave Usova-Zhulin marks that are beatable, but they also gave Wynn and Drew, the Americans, pretty good marks. So let's see what they do to the Duchesnays. Well, look at those marks. I think that those are very, very good marks, considering what they've received in the past. I think finally they have broken through on the judges. In their first set of marks, they've got 5/8 and 5/7, just 1/5/6, which was from the Canadian judge, which will certainly not make Jane Garden very popular. I want to see their second set of marks, as I think this panel of judges has just accepted the Duchesnays for what many people have been saying for a long time, that they really are. Here come their marks now for artistic impression. Look at that, a 6. There's another 6. And they have moved up into second place after the OSP, ahead of Usova-Zhulin.
See, I told you, Tyler, it's not the great non-event, is it?
I guess you're right, but interestingly enough, and I will be the most unpopular of all people here, I understood what the criticism was. I saw it very clearly. I can definitely appreciate the performance value, but one must stick with the rules. And again, there was so much skating apart from each other that I found to be flagrantly flaunting the system.
Well, they have moved into second place ahead of Usova-Zhulin, behind Klimova, Ponomarenko, Borlase and Smith still 8th, McDonald, Mitchell still 10th. We'll be back.
Judges, and most of all the people who supported us.
Yes.
They're fantastic. Thank you, Canada. We needed you.
Yes. I can't say anything more.
The fans have always supported you. Tremendous support in Leningrad at the Europeans, tremendous support here. Did you ever feel you were never going to break through? It was always an uphill fight?
It's been an uphill fight so far.
And it's not finished yet.
It's just this. It's going to get harder from now on.
Now, you're skating for France. You're both Canadians. You're going to come home and live here after you're finished. Still a special feeling to skate in Canada?
Oh, yes.
This is our...
So many people we know, and it's so familiar. We did the 1981 Canadian Championships here. This is where we started our career.
In this rink.
We never thought we'd come back here, really.
It's a great feeling to be home again. I mean, you can take the girl and the guy out of Canada, but you can't take Canada out of us.
Brian, you've been with Paul and Isabelle during the most exciting moments of their young lives so far. We've all been there. But I think that, Toller, the excitement tonight with the men will be just as great.
Well, Ted, I think is probably an understatement. I know it is going to be electric. And in the same way that Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler in the pairs threw us into a magic dimension, I think that the fight between